Nossa, eu tô sem palha. Fazer mais flecha. Desgraça, velho. Ih, não,
Encode your
pelo amor de
DNA.
Deus. Quase destruiu minha base. Intelecto menos desenvolvido, aí é pra ti, então. Hum, Deve ter algum parâmetro que deve alterar com isso. Perfeito. Bate ali no piteiro, que provavelmente já foi domado. Ah, ah, a tela. Vamos botar estamina, que não vai ser muita coisa, né? Interessante, vamos ver aqui. Esse é um mapa bem pequeno, cara. Mas eu ainda não explorei nem metade dele.
Define
Já
your
tô falando que
genetic
ele é pequeno.
structure. Choose a genetic resilience. Choose your first style.
Tem bastante água.
Pick your main color.
Bastante lagos, na verdade, não necessariamente água. E pelo amor de Deus, cara, que agonia andar com esse piteiro. Inferno. Tem bastante. E
Choose
realmente
your
tem
detail
bastante
color.
parte que chega a ser um horizonte planozinho aqui, com bastante espaço para construção. Não, os pássaros terror
Pick
não.
a
Sai.
class. Commando.
Terminar esse daí uma
Cipher.
hora ali. E.
Saboteur.
O solo. Cara,
Sentinel.
Eu acho que eu já joguei
Sai
esse mapa.
Commando, Deadeye.
Eu acho que eu já joguei algum, tipo, um dia. Devo ter testado já esse mapa alguma vez. Que tem uma parte aqui que, ou, tipo, ou
Commando,
tem uma parte
Sai Freak,
igualzinha em outro mapa, tá
Saboteur.
ligado? Ou já joguei.
Command, Deadeye, Sentinel, Deadeye.
Mas eu não me lembro muito de
Commando,
nada daqui. Não lembro de
Deadeye.
ter jogado isso aqui realmente.
Commando, Sai Freak, Saboteur, Sentinel, Deadeye. Deadeye chosen. Sounds good. Here's somebody with a troubled past, drawn into the spotlight of a story that's already begun. We're already
Já
at a
posso
crossroad,
pegar
but
aquilo
for
ali.
you, it's not only a crossroad, but a choice. A reflection of your key, the primal energy that flows through everything.
Let me introduce myself. I'm the light
Desapareceu bem
and
quando eu cheguei
bright side of
perto.
you, or your inner voice to be precise. An
Seems more like you're being light-headed if you ask me, but you'll come around.
but what comes around goes all the way.
In your nature.
Natural selection is all about
Bastante piteiro nesse mapa. Digamos que será
Right is
interessante.
always right.
Mas eu não. Eu achei agora ali recurso de metal, velho, mas. Não sei tanto assim, cara. Sei lá, é que eu não adianta. Não adianta dizer que eu vou falar alguma coisa agora. Mas parece um mapa, eu não senti
Stories of death and the
muito
bodies
rollback,
left
muita
behind.
travação
A reminder that
no
we're at
mapa.
the mercy of nature
Não é que nem.
and the one that
Não,
preys
não,
on
não senti
others.
muita coisa assim. Então parece que a otimização dele tá ajeitadinha.
Do you remember the beast that shattered your family? Or did you choose to forget? You turned your back on our world and got lost in
Ah,
your own.
inferno! Justo
Meanwhile,
quando eu conseguia pegar o item, o
Predator
negócio
only
desaparecia.
grew stronger.
Cara, o mapa é bem interessante, velho. Bonito para um caralho. Mas eu acho que ele é bem pequeno, cara. Tô tendo a impressão de que ele vai ser bem pequenininho. A primeira impressão que eu tive é essa. Deixa eu lá.
Better make a run for it. This is not the time nor place to end this story.
Fazendo live no YouTube? Lá no olho do seu cu.
This time, it was best to run and live to fight another day. Let us hope you're ready for it when it comes. predator isn't the only threat. The wildlife started to mutate when the end of days began, and the Tree of Life started to die.
Slice and dice. All things end.
The oil sludges everywhere. To most, it only means death. But some have adapted to the new environment and changed with it. Evolution has its ways. Sure useful. clash. You can do this.
Vamos ver. Nossa senhora. Tô vendo os testes de placa de vídeo aqui da 3080 contra a 6800 da AMD no Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Cara, é muita diferença, velho. Não tá ganhando por pouco, cara. A AMD não tá ganhando por pouco. Em 1080, a média de FPS no Assassin's Creed da 3080 foi 95 FPS. A média em 1080. A média em 1080 da RX 6800 foi 130. Cara, isso é 35 a mais, velho. Cara, isso é muita coisa, velho. Ganhou em todos os quesitos. Até em 4K ela ganhou, velho. Tá, mas agora eu entendi, eles explicaram aqui, porque o Assassin's Creed ele foi feito baseado numa estrutura AMD. Então é por isso que deu essa diferença tão grande. Vamos ver os outros jogos agora.
Look, an emergency box from the once was. A rare sight. That pipe looks weak. The claw bar should come in handy. Whoa. It's time to find a way out of this place. No, really, I mean it.
Sei lá, nunca, não vi muito sobre esse jogo. Só vi uns trailers.
Check out those guns. The Morks produce biomatter in their multi-organ that they shed under distress. Blobs that affect the cellular coding strands of any living being when absorbed, including you. The deep cut. Toxanol built vessels called arks to save themselves from the impending doom. But was it too late? It is only from the flight logs of the single ark they left behind that we know other arks traveled through the sky and beyond. It seems those that came before us never lost hope in finding a new home for their kind. Just a few moves left. Make them count. There are few records of the chain of events that led to the big apocalypse eons ago, but it's clear the world wasn't prepared for how recklessly the Toxanol Corporation would make its mark on the world. Their rare earth mining and nuclear industries generated tons of waste, and without consideration for the future, they dumped it all in landfills until they ran out of space. That's when they made the big mistake. They began dumping the toxic waste in the surf just off the coast instead, assuming that it would sink and decay with time. And they were right. But no one was prepared for what was about to unfold. Once in the surf, the radiation interfered with the genetics of the wildlife and created bizarre mutations in their offspring. It had an inconceivable impact on biodiversity and the entire ecosystem. The world as they knew it crumbled as nature retaliated. It would never be the same again, and what remained of it became ours. The sound of spark metal going pew-pew is never a good thing. It's coming from behind that door. A warning label. The box looks like a potential brain melt. It's going to take a bit of puzzling to short-circuit the door. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Quite a shock to the system. Let's try that again. There you go.
Bom, eu me despeço, retorno, tô indo trabalhar. Falou, cara. Valeu, até.
The wheeled one is outnumbered. You'd better help him out. Sharp steel. That's the last of them. Let's talk to the wheeled one before backup arrives. That'll come in handy. He wants to thank you for taking his side against the scavengers. He sounds familiar. You just can't figure out why. He presents himself as out of date. He knows he's way overdue, but he hasn't given up. He doesn't seem surprised that you don't recognize him. You were just There have been rumors of a one-eyed Ronin seen outside the Great Wall. The legend of the one-eyed child that grew up as an outcast is old and the child could have been anyone, but the evil it had fled had left a mark, a facial scar to remember the past. How Lupa Lupin somehow left you alive after his raid on the old village. There's no doubt you're the child, and that what Lupa Lupin did to you. He says it has taken you a long time to bring the past back up to the present. It was after the attack that the unity fell apart. Your Muma's disciples divided and formed tribes as a reaction to the blight that had fallen upon the land. The impending threat of the World Eaters bringing down the Tree of Life is... Had it not been for the Tree of Life, no one would have survived. He hopes you at least... Asks if you are tired, as it's a bit of a hike here from the village. He wonders if your Muma knows you are here. You're such a good child, so you probably did. Even the young forget. He understands why you came all the way out here, to see them, the potato people. The potato people, or Nono, are a wonder, somehow interlinked with this little tree here, fueling its source of life. You might be right. Like potatoes, they're packed with energy, an excellent source of ki. The Nono prefer to hide in glitter grass. He says you should get over there and ruffle it. See if you can make... You've found one. You should be proud. They don't come out for everyone. The Nono's key energy is just what the Pensai needs to complete its cycle and grow into a tree of life. Only time will tell. At least his intention is to dedicate his life to it. He has the feeling the fate of... You need to support the tree for a long time to come. The only way it'll grow tall is with the burst of ki. You'll need a net to catch the Nono, and he wants you to use his, but asks you to be gentle. The Nono are sensitive beings, an embodiment of ki, the prime... You handle that net like you've never done anything else. He's impressed. He's grateful for all the help he can get. There's lots of Nono out there that need to be guided to the roots of the Pensai tree. They're hiding in the glitter grass that mostly grows deep inside damp caves, where they draw mineral from the natural rock. One day, he hopes the tree will have grown tall enough to sustain the world. But today, your focus is getting this one to become one with the tree. Now that you've... He says you'd better hurry back to the village before your Mooma comes looking for you. You did good here today. He lost you there. The tree started to die when the end of days begun, and it wasn't long after that the genetic evolution that occurred after the apocalypse. His friend Gizmo is working on a Mekton and needs help defeating the Jumbo Puff at the end of the West Route. Wiz is still repairing his octopod to confront the Merkpuff that dwells deep down under the surface at the end of the Northwest Route. Noko has tamed the Midget and is preparing to take on the Hoof Puff at the end of the East Route. Finally, Goop is almost done with the Goo Glide, a machine able to ride the waves of the surf all the way out to the Porky Puff at the end of the route to the southeast. Out of time, the road ahead won't be easy, but he's counting. He wants you to understand that you'll all die if the tree isn't saved. His friends have prepared something specific. Regardless, you'll meet again once you've played your part in the... You're getting the hang of it. Quickest way out is through the roof where they came in, and the rope looks strong enough to climb. Know that the Tree of Life is dying. Its days are numbered. Without help, it can't endure the environmental change and assault from the World Eaters. A signpost maps it out for the cartographically challenged. Let's see. Must be the World Eater that chewed off Out-of-Date's leg. You'll need a hat trick to bring that down. The World Eaters have made their marks on our world over time. That's not the first nor the last village it'll leave in its wake. Look, a survivor. Glad to see someone made it out alive. He's heard the stories about the terror inflicted by the World Eaters to us. He worries there won't be much left to save if... He doesn't... Anyway, he needs help and says it's by your actions you'll be judged, not by your intentions. He's grateful for that.
That's a spark of light in you!
What's there to like about light? It hurts.
Not as much as it hurts to look at you.
Always making this personal.
And you're always trying to pretend it's not.
There's Out of Date again. He must have missed something important. Regardless of who you choose, the Myriad's conviction to stop the World Eaters began when the Leviathans rose from the depths of the surf. Siding with the Myriad's movement for wholeness in a fragmented world might seem like the logical thing to do, but is it the right thing? One thing's certain, though. Destiny arrives all the same. The Jagni tribe only ever had one conviction: to bring balance to the world by wiping out the weak. They believe a cleansing is necessary to restore the world, and want to let the World Eaters bring down the Tree of Life. But siding with Jagni isn't necessarily a bad thing. Fate will find a way. How to... He believes the tribe's sea... Another fork